Welcome to the Inspired by InVideo show. Here you can learn about how to use InVideo, ask questions and show off your videos. Stephen Healy is a content creator and facilitator for BeLive TV. I'm John Upton and I'm a video creator and general marketer for an agency based in the UK called Think and Do. Now, last weekend I posted an example of doing curved text and also bringing the text on one character at a time. Well, it is a cheat really, because I'm using a vector program to create my curved text, and I'm going to make a load of, well, in this case there's 20 letters, so I'm going to make 20 PNG images with the same size background but as an invisible background or transparent background. This allows you to then easily make sure that all the letters end up in the right place. Now we're going to fit this text to that path. Now, something you need to be fully aware of when you do this exercise is that you need to make all your sizing of the text and your font that you choose. You can choose loads and loads of different fonts, and there. Now, to ensure that what I do is proportionally correct for my video, I've actually set, as you can see, my background to 1920 by 10,000, so that's my workspace in CorelDRAW at 96 dpi. Okay, so that represents a full screen, and if I wanted my text to be bigger, I would make my circle bigger. Somebody said, well, can I do waves? The bottom line is you can do waves, zigzags, whatever you want, and so long as you have a fit text to path capability, then you can do that shape. So you don't have to have CorelDRAW. Okay, I'm demonstrating this in CorelDRAW, but there are loads of other AI packages, etc. What only thing that really matters is A, it has fit text to path, B, you can break the text up, and C, you can export as PNGs. Now, if you do not have a vector editor, then you can get a free one that can do all of this, and that's called Inkscape. Okay, so it's inkscape.org. It is totally free. You can download it, and it's pretty damn powerful. And as I say, the most important thing is it's free and it does everything we're going to do today. But I've been using CorelDRAW since version 1, and I think this is CorelDRAW 2019, which is about the 16th version of it. So I'm just going to do it with something I'm familiar with. But there is loads of help for Inkscape, and if you want to do it in Inkscape to get it done for free, just search YouTube and for fit text to path, and you will see how to do it in there, and it's almost identical. So we've got some text. We need to have our text size beforehand. You can change the colour after we've fitted it to the path, but we need to have our size done before we path, because if you try and make it bigger, it just gets all wrong, okay, after you've fitted it to the path. So here we've got our text, and you can see there it's 48 point Arial, and we're going to fit it round this circle here, and we do that simply by selecting the two, selecting text and fit text to path, and as you can see straight away that's fitted the text to path. Now here you can change your shape, your angles, etc. for some standard features there, or you can do offsets here and here, and you can do above and below the lines. I'm just going to keep it simple for this and over the top of the circle, but you can put it underneath, you can put it inside, whatever, simply by choosing the different functions here. So we're going to stick with this one. So we've done that. Click off, click on the circle, hit delete, and it's deleted both. That would happen for me, wouldn't it? So let's try again. Okay, let's try again. and this time we've got it right. Okay, so now I'm going to add some colour before we do any more. So I'm going to select the text and I'm just going to select a standard red. Okay, that's because I know I'm going to put it on a yellow background so as it's easy to see when we get to InVideo. So this is some sample text, but if we click it, it's still one piece of text. And what we want to do is break it up so that we can create 20, because there's 20 characters, individual PNGs. So let's select our text, and if we go to object, we can break apart our artistic text. Okay, and it showed me that it was the Arial 48 point it was breaking apart, but that's broken it apart into words, and we need a bit more than words. We need letters. So let's select each one and do the same thing again. Go up there and break apart artistic text, and now you can see just a single piece of, sorry, a single character is there. Let's again, object, break apart, select, object, break apart, select, object, break apart, and let's do the last one, object, break apart. I nearly got bamboozled and lost them. So now we've got 20 individual characters with some space in between them. We're not going to worry about spaces because the trick that we're going to do means we don't need to move spaces. So what we want to do is be able to put them all in the correct place, and the easiest way to do that is to mount it on a background, a bit like mounting it on a piece of glass. So what we're going to do is go to square or oblong, and we're going to draw an oblong around it. Okay, we're going to move the edge in a bit so that it's pretty similar on there, and that's great. So now I've got a background behind it, but it's got an outline. So the first thing I'm going to do here is remove the outline. There we are. So we've got the outline pen. We select the colour, and what we can do is select here, and we've now got no background. Okay, so now we've got no fill and no background, so it's effectively on glass. And so that we can get everything we need in the same place, what we're going to do is select the glass, hold shift key and select each letter. Okay, so now we've got T in the background. Then we're going to go to export. It'll take a moment or two to load the export capability. Okay, so now we can export, and I'm simply going to call that 001 and hit export. Oh, so I've selected only, by the way, and I'm going to select export. OMPG wants Express. Let's just say yes. I think they're already in there. Okay, let's do another one. So this time we just click off, click H, shift click the background, so you can still have got the H because we've got the little thing there. And let's export that one as well. Okay, selected only, and let's call this number 2. Oh, let's call it 002. Ooh. Export. Yes. Now we'll do just one more, and then I'll show you all 20 already exported, because you don't want to sit here while I export the lot. You can see what was exported. Click OK. Yep. So you saw an H on a background, empty background. So let's click on I. Got our little marker. Let's shift click the background, and let's export one more. Do this. So let's call that number 3, 003, export. Yes, I know it already exists. So you can see we're using the same size piece of glass for a comparative reason, and the background. Okay, see there? So let's click OK. So now if I nip over here and I go to the folder, you can see that we have all of these 20 here. Yep, that are the 20 characters from here. Okay, so they're all the same dimension. So if you put them on top of each other, the letters will be in the correct place. So that's how you create the necessary bits and pieces. So what we're going to do now is we're going to swap over to InVideo. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and build the whole of the video. So what I will do is get the basics of the video together, put the first few items onto the video, and then we'll swap to the complete video and run through the different things that have been done. So the first thing we need to do is the video is 30 seconds long. So I need to change that from 12 to 30. Okay. And I hate Mr. Princeton, as people who've watched my videos will know, so I'm just going to get rid of that music. I will add some music in the final video, but for the purposes of this, we're having one scene 30 seconds long. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag my logo from my folder, Think and Do folder, and you need to see that square there. Otherwise, if you see that blue square, you'll fill the whole of the screen with the picture. So back to here, there, and I'm going to make it a little bit longer. Build your own scene. I'm going to take that up to the top, and I called this circular text, so I'm just going to put circular text. Okay, and I know that I'm going to have a yellow background and that my circular text is going to come in as red because that's how I created it. So I'm going to make this red as well. So I'm going to click there and I'm just going to pick the standard red from there. And then the last thing I'm going to do is go to layers, select my background. I've unlocked it. I've already unlocked it. I'll then go to edit, go to colours, click on there, and I'll use this sort of yellow here. Okay, so now I've got the basis of my video. Okay, and what you need to do now is we have 001 to 020, all 20 letters, is you need to upload those. So I'll just show you what an upload is. Yep, so let's go to uploads and let's upload a piece of media. And if I go here, nip to this, nip to InVideo, and go to text blocks, hey presto, there are all of my blocks. So if I want to upload one, I can click open and it will upload. Okay, now I don't want to sit here and upload all 20, so I've created a folder called circular text, and if we click on it, it will upload, show us all those 20 that I've already uploaded into the folder. Okay, so now I've got all my media here. I've already moved the T over. I didn't obviously click undo enough times when I was testing it. So I've got my T. Let's add the H. So we're going 001, 002, 003, 004. But the bad news is the rest of them are all jumbled up. So we're going to have to go and have a look for number 5. So there's number 5. There's my number 6. You get the general idea anyway. So it's from 6 we would go to 7 and then on to 8. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now you've seen me load those there, let's jump to where everything's already set up. Okay, so this is the completed video. You will note up here that I've added to the circular text drop shadow simply by clicking the drop shadow capability. So if we go here, edit, and go to drop shadow there, and that just gives it a bit more punch. Okay, so here's the circular text, here's my message weight. If you haven't seen it before, let's play the whole scene and then we'll break it down and see how it was done. So we're playing the scene. Okay, so you can see there. Now, I'm going to be really honest, this weight thing got added in at the end because I'd miscalculated and it really didn't need to be 30 seconds long. It could have been a bit shorter. So I put the weight in that comes up from the bottom and goes back down to the bottom to keep you watching. So, here's all the media here, and you'll notice I've added a song. The song is called Ania, and it is from the music here. Okay, so I've added that, and if we go to the end, I've also added a fade to it. So if we click there, look at trim, you'll see I've left the volume at 100%, but I've got a fade out of 2. Now 2 does not mean 2 seconds. It's a sort of linear scale that's there. Okay, so that's the music. Let's go back to the scene itself. So let's click done there. This is the scene. Now the magic all happens in the advanced timeline. And what I'm going to do, just so as we can see things a bit easier, I'm going to close the left hand side. So if we go to the layers, you'll see we've got a background, and then we have 1 through 20 coming, 1 through 20. Then we have circular text, which is the piece at the top. Then we've got the logo, and then we've got the weight. Yeah? And if we look down here, we can see all of those down here. And so what we've done, the background stretches the whole length. Number 1 comes on at 0 seconds and goes off at 20 seconds. Okay, so number 1 comes on first, goes off first, and all we've done is, if we zoom in, you'll see that all of the, let's just move it to the beginning, all of them are at ½ second intervals coming on and ½ second intervals going off. So that's 0 through 20, and you change the timing simply by dragging. Okay, so that one's 24 seconds. So you can drag when it goes off and you can drag when it comes on. So that one comes on at 3.5 seconds. Let's remember it's hundredths of a second, so 3:50 is 3.5 minutes, or 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, so that's what we've done there. And then if we pick any of them, so on number 5, you'll see that it fades in for 2 seconds. There is no in place. You will have to remove the in place because it's an image and it goes out. It fades out. Now I've done these really simple with fades, but you can use any of the available functions for the animation, so you can zoom them all over the place, whatever you want. But to make this simple, they're simply fading in and fading out. So that's fade out, fade in, and on both occasions they're 2 seconds. And you can see that number 5 starts after 2 seconds, and if we scroll you can see that it goes out, maybe I should have reduced it, and 22.5 seconds. Okay, so if I reduce the timeline size, let's bring it down to there, you can see how they all come in and they go out. Yep. The circular text starts at the very beginning now, and the logo starts at the very beginning, and then I've added the weight, and you can see the weight comes on just after the last one comes on and goes off just before the first one goes off. Okay, and that makes up the fact that I've rather left a large gap that would have been very boring. On the weight, which is there as a filler, that's got an in animation of bounce from down. Bounce from down means it's bouncing from the bottom, and it's got an out animation of bounce to down. That means it bounces from its current position to the bottom. Okay, so that is all the animation. That's what causes it all to happen, and that gives us this final video that looks like this. So at the moment, these are the on bits here. This is the start of the weight, and that's the weight going down, and now they're going to start coming off again. So number 1 comes on first, number 1 goes off first, and number 20 comes on last and goes off last. And that's how it's done. Hope you find that useful. Any questions, just message. But our important message to you is to stay safe. Look forward to seeing you next week.